So we are back. People are getting in again.
Yeah.
I hope this helped the audio. I confess that for me it was perfect all the time. It was very good for me, the transmission, but just in case, we are back. We were talking about Chablis, which is something detached from the Côte d'Or, usually connected to minerality in wines that are more mineral, classically paired with oysters. Well, I should say that this Grand Cru 2015, a great vintage, is more on the fat side of the style, has fat, big mouthfeel, middle of palate. It's very, very good now. Very intense in the nose and in the mouth. And so 15 was a warmer vintage, right?
Clearly, yes. It's not a classic vintage for Chablis. I mean, it's what you said before. It's a warmer, riper, richer vintage. If you are afraid, I would say, by the acidity or the freshness, the touch of the Chablis wines, probably you need to try the Chablis 15 because it will probably be more easier to drink it, to taste it, because you have a roundness which is a little bit unusual for the Chablis style. What you call, minerality, it has a link with the freshness, with the acidity, because it's the northern part of Burgundy. So there is, of course, a ripeness or a balance which is different in Chablis compared to what we have in Côte d'Or.
Yeah, it's
the same grape varieties, Chardonnay, but not the same balance.
Yes, it's a cooler region, famous for the lighter mineral wines, but also the Grand Crus. They're wines that more structure. This one has a solid structure, firm mouthfeel, very fruity and very round, a powerful mid palate. You can feel the wood too. How many months does this stay in wood?
Chablis, we do something. It's less it's around 14 months, something like, because we are bottling most of time 1 year later, a little bit more as 1 year. So it's around 13-14 months of aging, but not in our classic Burgundian barrel, which are small barrel of 228 liters. But we have made specific barrels for Chablis wines, a double barrel. So it's a 456 liters. So specific for the Chablis wines, especially for the Grand Cru.
Frederick, there's someone, Guilherme, is asking, saying that in some technical sheets, you mentioned that you use open fermentation vats. Why do you use that? And if it's for wines or just some wines?
Yeah, so mostly in our winery for reds, we are using open tank. In stainless steel or in oak, we have both. Clearly, the open tank is the traditional way to make the reds maceration. It's easy to understand. In past, to fill up the tank, it was by back. So you imagine big boxes in your back, and you fill up your tanks in putting the grapes like that. So it was necessary to have open tank. And after that, you need to punch the cap of grapes, by feet, by hand, or with a pneumatic system. But you do that, because it's open. So that's, I would say, the traditional way to macerate some grapes or something. It's to have a big door, in general, on the top of the tank. So open tank. So it's just practical. Then you have a tronconic, you have the size, you have the stainless, or you have the oak, you have the concrete. Doesn't mind, but the open tank, it's really the classic, I would say, approach to make a maceration of fruit.
Thank you. I didn't mention something that is very important to understand: the size of Burgundy. You have 100 AOCs, right? For example, more or less that. For example, the whole Portugal has 30 something, about 30. So Burgundy is a mosaic, very, very small parcels. And Bordeaux has maybe how many AOCs has Bordeaux? Much less.
Less,
Much less.
for sure, less.
And besides the AOCs, you have hundreds vineyards classified and recognized as maybe not classified as Premier Cru, but recognized as a vineyard that has its own personality. The Climats and Liaudite. And someone is asking me here in my WhatsApp the difference between Climat and Liaudite.
Alors, Climat, it's of course a Premier Cru or a Grand Cru. It's officially at that level of classification. A Lieu-dit, in fact, it's not far to be the same idea. It's a single vineyard, but just at the village appellation or the regional appellation. So it's a single vineyard, as the Premier Cru and the Grand Cru are, but without this classification official of Premier Cru or Grand Cru. Climat, it's for the top names in Burgundy. It's for Perrières, it's for Clos Saint-Jacques, it's for Chambertin-Côte d'Bèze, it's for Clos Vougeot. When you are talking about Meursault-Thiers, Meursault-Narvaux, Puligny, les Enseignières, this is not Premier Cru or Grand Cru. This is just a place, a location, a village wine. So we are using the name Lieu-dit. Okay,
so Climat, it's a classified single vineyard. Lieu-dit, it's a non-classified but recognized quality single vineyard. And
today we do the yes.
So if you study the soil of Burgundy, you can see every 100 meters it changes. So to every producer it changes, and then to every vintage it changes. So I believe it's the most difficult region to the consumer to buy wine.
Yeah, there is. This is. We know it. This is a part of the difficulty for you, for people who, I would say, discovering Burgundy. But on the other way, it's, you know, when you just start to touch what could be Burgundy, I mean, it is incredible diversity. You immediately love it because you have never, you know, the same answer. So from a vintage to another vintage, from a place to another place, from a grower from another grower, you will find something different, something new. So for me, we are for the team, we are producing. For you, you are drinking the wines. It has no end. Every wine could be a new wine. So that's yes. Completely crazy. But yeah, it's difficult. But on the same time, it's what makes Burgundy so special. It's
yes.
No end.
You mentioned Clos Vougeot, and Clos Vougeot has about 80 owners, one vineyard. Yeah. So every year you have 80 different Clos Vougeot.
More, because you have people who are selling some grapes, you have people who are selling some wines in bulk. So as a negotiant, you can buy some grapes, some wine. So you have probably, I don't know, 150 different Clos Vougeot on the market.
That's why a brand like Jadot has such a value for the consumer. It makes it easier to buy Burgundy when you do not know the names of the producers. So it's a trustable name, trustable brand, I should add.
Yeah, I think that a part of our responsibility is to make sure that people, when they are opening one of our bottles, is to make sure that they will probably be tempted to open another bottle or to buy another, I would say, level of wine. So if you buy a Bourgogne Chardonnay, if we are good, the idea is one day it's to buy a Meursault, and one day it's to buy a Meursault Premier Cru, and maybe why not a Corton Charlemagne or a Montrachet. So we do what we do because we want that people we want them to be curious day after day, wine after wine. So we have to be. Yeah, we have to be at the level of what people expect. And Burgundy, it's something it's crazy because it's very diverse. But on the same time, if you are not precise, if you don't make the greatest job as possible in the vineyard and in the cellar, you cannot be very loyal of the place. To reveal a place, to reveal such diversity of terroir, of climate, of locations, of vineyards, you cannot imagine what we have to do day after day in the vineyard and in the cellar. It's a job which is very, very intense, very precise, very exigent, because again, everything which will disturb the purity of the place you are losing a part of the location. So that's why we love to show at the end so many wines which are different. We assume that we know it's difficult because people could be lost in such diversity, in such richness of wine, but on the same time, it's what is Burgundy.
Well, Frederic, we are approaching 1 hour of interview, and we tasted 3 wines, 3 levels of your wines, fantastic wines. I love the Chablis, although it's not a typical vintage, but I love the style. And and one thing that also I love about Burgundy is the food of Burgundy. The cheese is the food of everyone. I love escargot. I love the cheese from Burgundy. And can you suggest 3 dishes for the 3 wines?
Alors, I'm not originally from Burgundy, so you will be surprised. But I'm sorry for that. But
no problem.
I'm not coming from
anywhere.
Okay, I'm born in Brittany. So what you told before, I mean oysters with the Chablis. You cannot imagine how it's talking to my heart. I'm eating oysters every weekend, and if I have not my oysters every weekend, I'm very, very sad. So yes, oysters with this Chablis. When you said oysters, I had the look of the oysters in front of me, my plate of oysters, so I need some. So as oysters for me will be the perfect match with Clos, but of course the wine is really more complex, really rich. So you could imagine to have that with something which is richer, creamy. So with I don't know, some chicken, because we have beautiful chicken here in Burgundy or something like that. But oysters, it will be my first, of course, choice. The Pommard 13, yeah, I will use it probably with a nice piece of a good steak, because fruity red fruit with these nice spicy flavors. It will bring some energy with a red meal, so it will be perfect with that. Clos des Ursules 11, it's something which is more, I would say, complex. You need some time. So I will put that probably at the end of a dinner, just to make sure that you will keep that glass for a long, long time. And me, after a dinner or lunch, I'm always keeping a piece of wine in my glass, just to take and to give some time to a wine like that, because it's a wine which will move in your glass. So of course you will have that with the cheese, but also with the dessert and the after dinner or the after lunch. So I will keep this glass not to eat and to drink it with something to eat, but just to drink this glass.
Fantastic. Well, the Chablis, I confess that I, of course, love oysters, but this kind of Chablis, more buttered, more creamy, remembers me a Brazilian dish called bobó de camarão, which is shrimp in a kind of creamy sauce. Very buttery. Of course, Pommard could be a churrasco, meat, grilled meat. And Beaune, I would say, of course, it's a young and complex wine, but maybe some kind of tuna, for example, for the acidity. Yes, maybe some Thai tuna with some spicy, squirted by spices. Maybe could be very, very nice. Well, I'm hungry now.
Yeah, me too. I definitely need to visit the market.
You should come. Well, folks, we are over 1 hour interview. And if you want to ask anything else, and you, Frederic, if you want to say something else.
Well, what I want to say, it's just I'm so happy that we have support, we have people who are loving our wines. Us, we are sometimes the team sometimes forget that we do what we do because you are there, because you are drinking our wines. So we are not doing wines for us. We are not farming just for fun. So we are drinking that. We are making what we do to share the wines, to drink it. us, the first and I would say the best pleasure we have is to share a bottle of wine with you, with your friends. So clearly, you are welcome in Burgundy to visit us. You know that we have an old collection, and we will be always very happy to open few old bottles to make sure that you are confident with our wines, you are confident with Burgundies. It's a wonderful region to come, and again, we do what we do to share and to I would say to drink pleasure with good people. So thanks for that, and I hope you will continue to drink and to share this pleasure with us.
Thank you, Frederic. I have one question from Rodolfo. He said that it's common that vineyards blend a label with wines from different vineyards. How our guests evaluate the difference between single vineyards and the traditional wines, the traditional ones?
Yeah. I think probably he's talking about a cuvée like that, you know, which is a blend of different vineyards. So in fact, in Burgundy, I told you, we have the climat wines or the single vineyards approach. So I mean, we are farming a place, we are picking the grapes from this place, and we are making a wine from this place. But of course, there is another approach, what in fact they are doing in Bordeaux, the blend. We blend different wines together and we do a cuvée. So for example, we have a special cuvée in Beaune, which is a celebration cuvée only on the top vintages for the red. We put together a few vineyards from Beaune to make a Beaune Premier Cru. So it's losing a single name because it's not coming only from one place, but it's coming from one appellation, one area. So that's another, I would say, way to make the wine, because in fact you do the different elements separately, but at the end, after 15 months, 18 months, you taste and you make tries. You know, you put together different wines just to find the best, I would say, recipe, the best blend, and that's something which we do. I would say every day with Bourgogne Chardonnay, Macon Village, the basic wines, because it's not coming from one place. But sometimes it's something we also do in few cuvées. And you know what? What is incredible with the blending you different wines? It's 1 + 1. It's never doing 2. It could do 1 or 3 or 4. So you never know what you will have, you know, in blending 2 wines. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't work. So you could blend 2 good wines and you will you won't do a good wine. So you have always to try and to taste. And that's why it's a very funny approach. Not of course so interesting when you are talking a Clos Saint-Jacques from I would say the strongest names, the beautiful places, because they are so good. They need no one. They don't need to be blended. But for the locations which are less good on challenging vintage, it could be interesting to sometimes do cuvée like that.
Okay, thank you. Interesting information. So my friends, we are now 1 hour, 10 minutes of interview in 2 parts. You can watch this interview in my Instagram and also in Facebook, YouTube, and my website. Thank you very much, Todo Vino. Remembering that the wines are in promotion, 40% off in Todo Vino website. And thank you, Frederic. I hope to visit you again in Beaune as soon as possible.
Thank you,
and you will be welcome in Brazil. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.